Normally, when people have tried to build new cities anywhere, jobs is the hardest part. It's how do you get economic activity there? But we've had this incredible reception from companies saying, if we can create a place in Northern California where our employees can buy a home and we can build an office or we can build a factory and we can build it predictably and in a year instead of waiting 5 years for approvals and zoning and environmental impact reports and so on, we would love to stay in California. I think this is a really unique opportunity, not just for Solano County and not just for Bay Area, but for California as a state to keep all of these jobs in California instead of shipping them off to Texas and Florida, which I personally think is completely insane. I mean, we have the thing that every country, every state in the world is trying to have. And all we have to do is build more housing and factories and office space to keep them here. And we're not doing it. And instead we're shipping them off. Like, it's just insane. And I think this project is going to do an incredible amount of work in fixing it. And the beauty of it is that it also fixes this local issue in Solano County where I know so many young parents here who commute 2 hours every day for work to Palo Alto. And if their employer opened a satellite office out here, they could have an incredibly better quality of life. They would do better work for the employer because they wouldn't be spending 4 hours in a car. They could be more with their young kids. And when they have a meeting, they can still get to that meeting. And so I think this is a win for Solano County. It's a win for the Bay Area. It's a win for California. And I think it's a win for America because the innovation engine that we have in Northern California is really special. And the fact that we are throttling it by not building enough housing is just crazy.
Just because I think it's one of the classic misconceptions, say a little bit about how this creates a lot of jobs that local people who are local today will be able to do. And some of it is they're already working and they're already commuting. But like, what's the kind of like, look, once this California Forever gets going, how is it that it's like, wow, I'm going to have like multiple job opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it starts by us being really thoughtful about what industries we're trying to bring here. And from the beginning, what we've said is we want to bring industries that build on the existing strengths of the county and bring jobs that the people who are here can get. And there's two really great examples. One is in advanced manufacturing and defense. The county has a really long and proud tradition in, there was a big Navy base here, and they have one of the largest Air Force bases in the country. And across the country, we are now doing more and more building of advanced manufacturing that's co-located with Air Force bases. There's a lot of it going on at the Dwight Patterson Air Force Base, at the Robbins of Air Force Base, at the Tinker Air Force Base. And so we want to do that here around Travis Air Force Base. And we have a couple of companies that we've announced a month ago. One is Hadrian, that builds precision parts for jets and rockets and satellites. And another good example is Zipline, that makes drones. And we have many more coming up. And the second great example is the county has a long tradition in agriculture. And we are bringing in companies like Living Carbon, which makes trees that sequester more carbon and grow faster. And they're looking at building a nursery for 10 million trees. Or Plenty, which builds vertical farms that can grow fresh produce all year round with, I believe, 99% less water and 90% less land. And a single one of these vertical farms produces more food than the entire 17,500 acres of the new community that we are building. Because the place that we are building is this very marginal, poor quality land that doesn't grow very much. And so we're really focused on bringing those kinds of jobs. And then the last part I would say is just the construction of the new community and the solar farm that we're building around it. It's about a $30 billion investment in just the construction phase of it over the next 15 years. And so that's over 10,000 jobs in construction. All of those or most of those would go to local Solano residents. And people sometimes kind of think of construction jobs as being temporary. Well, they are temporary if you're building 200 homes. If you're building a whole city, we're going to have people who will apprentice, work, become a foreman and a supervisor, and then retire on this city and never leave. And they'll live in Fairfield and Vacaville or Rio Vista and have a 10-minute commute, 20-minute commute to work. I think it's going to be an incredible place to live. And in fact, we hope that many of the construction workers, all their children, will be some of the first home buyers in the new community. And I always feel that if you're a construction worker, and a lot of my family is construction workers or in construction, if you're a construction worker and you're building a school and your kids or your grandkids are going to go to the school is going to look different. You just care more. And I think it's going to be a really great lifestyle for many of those people.